Namaskar, I'm Ashok Vyas. Welcome to Inside Tonight program. And today is literally the big day, Bada Din. Merry Christmas as well as good wishes for grand, great 2024. I am privileged to have the presence of someone who brings lot of enthusiasm, joy, and the spirit to celebrate life in a way that no one other than Sparsh Shah can. So let me have the pleasure of clapping and welcoming Sparsh. Namaste.
Thank you so much for having me here. It's such a pleasure to be back on ITV Gold.
So when I look at you, I also appreciate and admire your father and mother. And I believe the upbringing that we have and the support at family and the love also helps. And also today's day is full of love as well as a way to connect with the flow of joy in a special way.
Yeah.
Tell me about your memory of Christmas celebration and any song that you remember on Christmas.
Yeah. I mean, I have a few memories when it comes to Christmas. Usually around Christmas, we all put a Christmas tree up. And, we have Christmas parties, get togethers with family, friends. Yeah. And I mean, Christmas is also, a time of worship. And so, a song that's coming to my mind right now is one of the most famous hymns of all time. Even people who don't necessarily, identify as Christian know this song and they love this song. Mm-hmm. And so you'll know it when you hear it. I'll sing a couple lines for you.
Please. Yeah.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I was once lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see.
Wow.
Thank you.
You sing so well, and you have been through a lot of challenging times in 2023, but in spite of that, you also participated in over 30 events at different parts of the world, including your visit to India. I would like you to begin by sharing with us. There are some of us who indulge in complaining about what is happening to them, and even if we don't have enough, but we figure out and we create space where we can complain. But in your case, I observe you are moving away from complaints to creativity and compassion. How that works out in your case? What helps you in maintaining that attitude?
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest thing is you talk about the word complaining, right? And I think sometimes we can all reach a point where we're frustrated at something, right? Whether it be ourselves or it be other people or it be our situation, our surroundings. But I think one thing that I have really learned, especially, throughout this year and the past few years, is it's not so much about, regretting what you could have done. I mean, jo ho gaya, wo ho gaya. Raat gayi, baat gayi, right? So it's really just about, okay, can I just learn from that, and can I just have the courage to, move forward next time with even, more resolution and determination, and can I also, at the same time, you talk about complaining, and I know that also it has to do with contentment, right? So with me, I think it's also interesting because in my life, I feel like I have so much farther to go. This career has only begun for me. I always tell people this is only the beginning, and I will keep saying that till I die. Because it's always just going to be the beginning. Every day, is a new opportunity. And so, there's that balance that we have to find between being hungry and being full. But if we can be both at the same time, we will always be content. That's what I've been learning.
Presence of Sparsh today with me is a blessing. And I think he's blessed in multiple ways. That includes his ability to articulate his thoughts, his ideas, his feelings in the form of songs. there is a song which I was reminded of, Asma Ke Par. You are a co-lyricist for that. Talk to me
Yes.
about how that was born.
Oh yeah, no, that's a beautiful song. So in 2020, I got to do a speech and performance at the India Inclusion Summit, which is one of India's big conferences for Divyang people, for people who are differently abled. And so that was they had an original version of their theme song that they had released the previous year, and they wanted me to add something new to it. So, through the collaboration with Nipunji and I kind of added some English rap to it. He added some new Hindi lyrics, and we came up with like a new and improved version of the theme song for 2020 when I gave that speech, and I performed it at the end of my virtual performance.
Wonderful. So if you are ready to go beyond the sky, as they say, sky is the limit, but for Sparsh, even sky is not the limit because the song is Asma Ke Par. Let us go with Sparsh.
A bird, when it flies, doesn't care about its size, and airplanes, even with their weight, can soar across the skies. From STEM to arts to sports, we have traveled far, even though they said we wouldn't make it. Do you know who we are? मेरे काया के भेद कुछ अलग से है, ना है गलत ना है सही, कुदरत के इस इंतजाम का मैं हूँ वो खास तुम नहीं, मिल भी जाए अगर एक जन्म और फिर जी दूंगा मैं उसे 100 बार। आसमां के पार, 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 आसमां के पार। Everyone is blessed, each differently than the rest, but we all have the zest to live life to the fullest. No matter our ability, we all can breathe in life in ways people can't imagine, though obstacles are rife. We may not have voices, but we are not unheard. Yes, we may seem trapped, but we are freer than birds. You may say we're cursed, but we're miracles in disguise. And you may try to put us down, but we will always rise.
So that was Asma Ke Par, but with this song, the zeal to sustain hope as well as offer it to others continues with Sparsh. And let me hear about this year. You were you participated in the gala for Voice of Specially Abled People and raised nearly $500,000. How was that experience? And once that happens, that you are instrumental in raising awareness as well as inspiring people to contribute for a noble cause, you feel certain sense of high, or how is that? How was that process?
Yeah, no, it's a beautiful question. I mean, working with VOSAP has always been just so amazing. Everyone there is just so brilliant and so beautiful. The work that they're doing, both from the top level, working with governments and like policies, like the Niti Aayog, we're working with with PM Modi ji. Even before VOSAP got started, Pranav Desai ji, the founder, he helped create the manifesto for Divyang people that PM Modi ji had made his policy. So we're doing work from there, and we're also doing work way down in the grassroots. Like, I'm taking you back a little bit, but during COVID, for example, when a lot of Divyang families, they could not go out. Number one, it's hard for many people to go out and about on their own if they're physically limited in some way. And then, of course, you can get sick from COVID. A lot of people like me are more prone to being sick from COVID, and worse sick, prone to dying to COVID more. So we gave them, rations, 1 month's worth to each of these families, thousands of families throughout India. So we're working on both levels, and we're working on between. We're doing research internships with, in colleges. We're getting high schoolers to participate in club like, activities for VOSAP. So it is just so beautiful to see, the progress that everyone does every year. And, to your question of whether I feel high or anything, I mean, it's like they say, there's this scripture that says, the kings of the world, they usually lord it over their people, right? And they exercise authority over the public. But that's not how it should be. The greatest among you should be your servant. And so that's the kind of attitude that I try to bring. Like we talk about servant leadership. And that's really where I try to come at this from, especially when it comes to philanthropy. Because it's why be selfish when you can be selfless? I know that's hard, really hard, but why be selfish when you can be selfless?
So sitting with Sparsh is a very special experience, and listening to him as well as learning about his journey makes you wonder, how is he the way he is? But then rather than thinking more on that, the thing is he radiates a sense of hope. तो हिंदी में आ जाए तो आशाएं, तो इसलिए अब एक फिल्म इकबाल का गीत आशाएं जो कि स्पर्श को भी पसंद है, और जब वो प्रस्तुत करते हैं तो वो आप तक कैसी आशाएं जगाता है, आइए अनुभव करें.
आशाएं कुछ पाने की हो आस आस, कोई अरमा हो तो खास खास आशाएं, हर कोशिश में हो बार बार करे दरियाओं को पार पार आशाएं, तूफानों को चीर के मंजिलों को छीन ले, आशाएं खिले दिल की, उम्मीदें हंसे दिल की, अब मुश्किल नहीं कुछ भी, नहीं कुछ भी. उड़ जाए देके खुशी अपने संग तुझको वहाँ, जन्नत से मुलाकात हो, पूरी हो तेरी हर दुआ, आशाएं खिले दिल की, उम्मीदें हंसे दिल की, अब मुश्किल नहीं कुछ भी, नहीं कुछ भी.
With hope, let's go to India with you. I think India is a land of lot of possibilities all the time, but especially these days. And this time around, you were also present at Goa with Chief Minister of Goa, participated in a big event in Jaipur. Talk to me about overall your experience of being in Jaipur and no, in India overall. And when you, I come from Jaipur. But when you came back, what was the additional impression of India this year that you brought with you?
Yeah, no, that's a beautiful question. And it's really making me think inward, going back to all these experiences. First of all, you mentioned that you're from Jaipur. Man, they are not lying when they talk about the kachoris. And the curry and the pakoda curry. I tried kachori curry, pakoda curry, vada curry. I think there is some other thing. It was so good.
I'm tempted to sort of add that actually I come from Jodhpur, but I grew up in Jaipur, so I kind of belong to Jaipur. Because if someone from Jodhpur will listen, then he'll say, no, you are from Jodhpur. So let's clarify. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's all good. All good.
I wish next time you visit Jodhpur also.
Yeah, that would be amazing. Yeah,
Mirchi Bada, you will remember. Mavi ki kachori, you will remember name.
Yes. So that, the food was awesome. The event was awesome. I got to give a speech and performance at NJ Wealth's annual PBT conference. So being able to speak in front of all those employees was definitely, it was a thrilling experience. It was a humbling experience.
Hey, Sparsh, you have addressed gathering of 3,500 people, sometimes 18,000 people. How is the preparation and how it makes you feel? Many people feel nervous getting in front of the audience.
Yeah. I mean, there definitely is. I'm noticing now more and more these days the importance of practicing ahead of time. So yeah, definitely, preparing yourself vocally for any, singing you're doing, preparing your speech, being able to have that like lightning fast in your memory, to, like the back of your hand, knowing what you were going to say, so that then you can express that articulately, as you had kind of mentioned before. And yeah, I mean, stage fright is, I get it. I always like to tell people, so if I may ask you, right, like what happens to you, for example, in your body when you get nervous? If I may ask you.
You asked me, and I will say it with slight nervousness that I don't feel nervous. So I don't know the answer. Okay.
Okay. It's so cool. So I will tell you some of the stuff that happens to me. So some symptoms I face before going on stage. Sometimes I get sweaty. My heart always is racing. I, may or may not be trying to scramble to remember some of the things that I have to say. But, a lot of people will have similar sort of responses. And so what I tell them is, see, now what happens to your body when you get excited? And what most people say is the same kind of thing happens to them. And there's a scientific reason. Because when you're nervous and when you're excited, it's still adrenaline. It's adrenaline that's causing that in your body. And so all it is a mind interpretation game. If the mind interprets it as nervousness, you're going to freak out. And you're going to fight or flight or freeze. And if you interpret it as excitement, you're going to, you're going to use that energy to become hyper aware. And that'll help you conquer your fear.
So one thing that I fear and I feel nervous is I'm asked to sing. But the way Sparsh sings, it's amazing. His modulation, his control over his voice, and the song that now we are taking you towards also relates to कि आपको याद क्या रहता है, आपको याद क्या रहना चाहिए, और कोई ऐसी याद होती है जो आपको नर्वसनेस से दूर कर देती है, और ये गाना भी कहीं ना कहीं आपको वहाँ ले जाए. और इसमें आप देखिएगा जो तेरी याद साथ है, वो 3-4 लेवल पर उसका जो रेंडरिंग किया गया है, स्पर्श ने कितना खूबसूरत किया है. लेट अस सो प्रिविलेज्ड टू बी सिटिंग विद स्पर्श शाह टुडे व्हाइल वी आर सेलिब्रेटिंग क्रिसमस, व्हाइल वी आर रेडी टू वेलकम न्यू ईयर. It is important to learn about multiple dimensions in Sparsh's personality. That includes a brilliant student. So his SAT score was 1580 out of 1600. But he got admitted with another school. And talk to me about this Berklee College of Music, how that course is turning out for you and how it is participating with other students.
Absolutely. So yeah, it was a very, very interesting turn of events. Despite the SAT score, Berklee College of Music has no need for SAT scores. So you sort of kind of wonder sometimes whether it was all worth it in the end. But, I definitely think it was worth it. It was good to take the test. Berklee College of Music is one of the world's best colleges for contemporary music. So, way back in the day, they started out with jazz, and now they do a lot of different genres, R&B, pop, hip-hop. They do orchestral. They have a whole film scoring degree.
Wow.
I even took a course called Vocal Styles from Around the World. So I learned about, a little more about Indian classical music. I learned about, music from the Middle East and from Hawaii and from Japan and a whole bunch of different places. So they're really expansive that way. My current bachelor's degree is interdisciplinary music studies, which I tell people is just a fancy way of saying study whatever you want, as long as you fulfill our basic requirements, like take X business classes, take X, songwriting class, or take X these requirements, liberal arts classes and stuff. So I take a little bit of everything as I needed for my career, like vocal classes, songwriting classes, music production classes, business classes, liberal arts courses. So I am loving it. I mean, I will say too, I was on campus in June for Berklee on site. It was such an amazing, feeling to be around other students, because when you're online, right, it's pretty isolating. You're not really with other people, in close proximity the way we are. However, we, have definitely built a lot of great relationships through this degree program. I've even like written a few songs with students in, fellow classmates in this program.
Oh, that reminds me, we started with the Amazing Grace, and I wanted to say you are amazing. So we talked about your singing, but now also your writing. So you have written rap song also, and you are collaborating with others in writing. Talk to me about the rap song that came to you, and it is so fast when when
I know. So, yes, the song that Ashok ji is mentioning is This Is Me, the Rap Prince. And it's a song that I got to release right at the end of 2022. And the funny story is, with the eye surgeries that I went through, we were supposed to, go fly to Japan. That was supposed to be my biggest live concert, music concert yet. And it still is because I sort of was there virtually. But because of eye surgeries, I all of a sudden couldn't fly. So that said, I released the song around the same time as the concert, like end of November. And so it's a unique song because it's not just hip hop, it's two specific types of hip hop. It's clean, there was no curses. That's why my stage name is, as you can see, oh no, you can't see it. It's Pure Rhythm. I have it on the back of my wheelchair. It's embroidered. Pure Rhythm meaning pure plus rhythm. That's my stage name as a hip hop artist.
Wow.
So it's clean, no profanity, no vulgarity, stuff like that. At the same time, it also has, as you may have heard, Indian classical music. So that's something part of what I like to call raga rap, which is Indian classical music plus hip hop, and put that together.
So how it has come up, our rap Kumar.
Yeah. For everyone who wants to know the real artist, the person behind the M&M covers, this is me. So I rise from pain to where my purpose lies. Feel my heart beats, boom, bars leave, I'm surprised. This book never ends, this pen always right through the ghost of my words. Yeah, I'm shining Christ light, rap flowing like water. My fire gets hotter, the beat rocking harder, breath taking me farther. Clean hip hop, jump starter, the raga rap potter, and poetry daughter. Music is my father, the complexity of my trapping raps, dexterity beckons whim. Cause I truly, fully am a tour de force to be reckoned with. Rap blacksmith, 7 times as if paradigm ships, men bridges, I'll make rips. I make grooves and tools to move it smooth, but me and you and keep it 110% the truth. Twinkle eyes, calls divine with soul and soul, not worth the goal, not here to kill, but spread goodwill, so peace be still. Let me share my skills, help us heal. You can tell I'm filled with zeal, cause this is only inception. Hip hop's reigning succession. I'm here to help reclaim a lost kingdom, fitted in regression. So here arrives the next heir to separate the wheat from the tare. I'ma stay bold and I won't be scared, but even I'm a hype, my mission will stay clear. I'm ushering in a new era since we're at a crossroads. Stakes are immense, that's why I'm pure rhythm, clean of rinse. I mean to be the rap god, but I am a rap prince.
And now, as we move towards the concluding part of this conversation, we will look at 2024 and request you to share. Do you make some plans in terms of, as we say, New Year resolutions? What you are especially looking forward to in the new year?
Yeah.
And allow me to add, anything else that you would like to share as tip for our viewers and especially young ones?
Yeah, well, one thing I will say is that honestly, whoever's watching here is not the only person who struggles with New Year's resolutions. Actually, in the beginning of 2023, I did a sort of New Year's resolution in front of my fans on social media, actually with my fans. It was this 21-day challenge where I was trying to level up my music career. I sang a lot of covers, did a freestyle rap, did some other cool stuff, produced a song and wrote a song and showed people how I do that and encouraged people. I'm like, do your 21-day challenge to start the new year. Do, whatever you want to be good at. And then the thing is, it's sort of
What was your 21-day challenge last?
Yeah, so mine was January 1st to 21st. So again, it was music related. to try, ultimately the goal was make it a habit, because they say it takes 21 days to make a habit, right? And so trying to make daily music practice a habit like that. So it worked in the sense that I got 21 days of content in a row. It didn't work in the sense that I originally intended it to work. So, one thing that I would say is less than New Year's resolutions. I think actually one of the biggest things that I have noticed is that when you simplify your life, like try to, I think the longer you make a list, right, the more overwhelming it gets. And then the more you beat yourself up if you don't actually fulfill everything on that list. So what I've tried to do is like I'll simplify everything. Like literally these days, especially with me on break right now from college, I was like, okay, I'm gonna just do minimum, for myself at least, I'll do two things every day: singing practice and exercise. Those two things. And that makes it so much easier. And then, maybe I'll add one or two things like my mom was talking about. Let's record stuff over break. So that's something we've been doing. Yeah, like new stuff for social media and doing something career related, and working on some new songs to release in the near future.
Wonderful. So I
yeah.
think the idea of keeping it simple is very, very important, and I think it will help many of us, as well as the idea of 21 days challenge that you can design for yourself. And I would like to conclude one by profusely thanking you and your father for being here, joining us here at the ITV studio. And what I want to repeat is, while we see Sparsh Shah, we know he has been to many important big platforms, including big TV shows, and we are not naming each one of them here. But behind that, it is not just what he's blessed with, but what he's doing with what he's blessed with, which includes continuous practice, hard work. And in addition to that, Sparsh, what I have observed is your inquisitiveness, your quest for knowledge, and you are always ready to upgrade yourself. And I think that's what we all should somewhere be resonating with lots and lots of good wishes as well as blessings for you, Sparsh, to excel. And we are proud of you, and with lots and lots of love for this young man who is a role model and a source of inspiration for me, and I guess for many of us. And as the new year comes, there is this feeling of newness in air, and let us capitalize on it in reinventing ourselves. Let's make 1st January as an excuse to work towards bringing out the best that is hidden and sleeping somewhere within. And because there is infinite potential in each one of us, and he has manifested to a great extent, and yet there's much more that we know will come from you. On that note, once again, thanking Sparsh and thanking all of you for being with us. Happy New Year and Merry Christmas. This is Ashok Vyas. Namaste.